Hey everyone, welcome back. In prepping for this deep dive, I was going through some listener
Oh,
notes.
yeah.
Yeah. And one theme just kept popping up, and it's something I think we all struggle with overcoming that fear of failure.
Especially in our careers, right? It's like this invisible barrier holding us back.
Exactly. So
hmm
today we're diving deep into 5 powerful tips to help you break through that fear and really own your career journey. And just as a heads up, we're going to touch on some ideas from Harvard Business Review, Carol Dweck's work on mindsets, the good stuff.
Your notes were spot on. I mean, they highlight some really practical strategies from those sources and some others. Ready to jump in?
Absolutely. So first up, and this one's huge, we've got to reframe how we think about failure because let's be real, that word
It
alone.
just makes you cringe, right?
Right. But what if, and this is straight from the HBR article, we start looking at those so-called failures as valuable data?
I love that. It's like instead of beating ourselves up, we get curious. Okay, what happened there? What can this experience teach me? It's like that famous Thomas Edison quote, right?
Yeah.
I haven't failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work.
Exactly. It's all about progress, not perfection.
Yeah.
And that takes me back to those notes. There was a whole section on the growth mindset.
Oh, yeah, Carol Dweck. Her research is so key here. She talks about how people with a growth mindset, they actually see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. Like
Mhm.
their abilities aren't fixed, they can be developed, right? So setbacks, mistakes, they're not the end of the world, they're just part of the process.
They're like stepping stones. And that actually ties in perfectly with our next tip, taking calculated risks. Because when we're talking about growth, it often means stepping outside of that comfort zone.
Which can be terrifying.
For sure. But it doesn't have to be this big, dramatic leap. I mean, think about it. Even something as simple as trying a new recipe.
Okay, yeah.
It's a risk. It might not turn out how you imagined, but you gain experience, you learn something new.
And you might just discover your new favorite dish. The same goes for our careers. It's about identifying those opportunities where the potential benefits, they outweigh the risks.
And then taking that step, even if it's just a small one, like maybe you sign up for a workshop in a field you're curious about, or you volunteer for a project that stretches your skills a bit.
Right. It's all about those incremental steps forward.
Now, even when we do reframe failure and we're taking calculated risks, let's be honest, things won't always go perfectly to plan.
Oh, absolutely not. Mistakes are part of the game.
And this is where learning from those mistakes is so crucial. One of the sources you sent over, it actually recommended a technique for this.
Oh, is it that after action review thing from HBR?
Yeah, that's the one. Have you used that?
I have. It's super helpful. Basically, after a project or even just a task, you take time to reflect, either individually or as a team, and you ask those key questions like, what was the intended outcome? What actually happened? Why was there a difference?
I see. So you're really digging deep into the why behind it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because once you understand the why, you can start to identify those areas for improvement and avoid making the same mistake twice.
Okay, so we're reframing failure, taking risks, learning from mistakes, but there's still that emotional side of things, right? That feeling of I messed up. That's where building resilience comes in.
Yes. Resilience is huge. Think of it like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And your notes mentioned mindfulness, which can be so powerful for managing stress and staying grounded when things get tough.
It's like building that inner voice that says, okay, I can handle this.
Right. And remember, you don't have to do it all alone. And that takes us to our final tip, seeking support. Having a supportive network, whether it's mentors, colleagues, friends, or family, can make a world of difference.
It's so true. And I know sometimes it can feel, I don't know, a bit vulnerable to reach out for help, but those people in your corner, they can offer fresh perspectives, remind you of your strengths when you're doubting yourself, and just be a sounding board.
Absolutely, because sometimes just saying those fears out loud can really take away their power.
Even better when someone's there to listen.
Couldn't agree more.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, just remember you are not alone in this journey. Embrace those failures as data, take those calculated risks, work on strengthening that resilience muscle, and please don't hesitate to lean on your support system. Now, here's something I want you to think about. What's one tiny action, just one small step that you can take today toward a goal that feels a bit scary?
We'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time.
See you then.